Hi, I'm Brandy,
I'm Justin.
and we are going to be doing our second Tool Talk Google Hangout. First, I'm going to be talking about Rubistar. Rubistar is a rubric maker that is online for teachers and students to access. Pretty much what it does is it's just like a rubric template. So you just go in and you write in everything that you want in it, and it formats it for you and puts it into a rubric of exactly how you want it to be. And it's just a time saver for teachers pretty much because it does take a long time to make rubrics and sit down and do everything. So it's definitely something that would be really useful.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it would. And would it be good for like, could students actually make the rubric too?
Yeah, they could. It's free. It's free to access, so anybody can really go on there and type in what they need to.
Oh, really cool. Okay, so they can do that, and I think that would be a good way to engage students because instead of them just using the teacher's rubric, they could actually use a rubric they've created, and then I think that would make them want to use it more.
Yeah,
Um,
and also when you go on, it can save your rubrics as well. So that
oh,
helps too. Like if you're teaching the same grade next year, then you can just access your old rubrics and you don't have to remake them.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's great. And I think teachers using letting students do their own rubrics. That's really good. And I think my teacher, my placement teacher, she uses a lot of rubrics in her class. Like she does a lot of projects to do a lot of writing,
Mhm.
and so she always uses rubrics and always has all of these things that they can do with the rubric. And it's not very fun. Like they don't like using them. They put them on their desk and they sort of just check them off and they don't really even look at them that much. But I think with something like this, where they could create they could create their own, or their teacher could create one online that was more tailored and fit, not just out of a book. I think
Mhm.
they would really like to use it more, and I think it would help them a lot.
Yeah, definitely. And I know in my placement we really don't use them very much, just because I'm in a younger group, so there's not much structure when it comes to like grading and whatnot. But the students can they I know when I was in school we created our own projects and we built our own rubrics that we compared with the teachers when we were done. So that would definitely be something that the kids could do, and like we could implement even into a first grade placement like I'm at, they could make their own rubrics and kind of build their own game.
Oh, so you did actually do what I had suggested before. Like
Yeah.
you did. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, and it worked really well.
Yeah, definitely. It was a lot of fun. I remember, like we all enjoyed it and we all wanted to do it again. So
Oh yeah, that's really good. That's cool. All
cool.
right. So the other one that I'm going to talk about, the second tool, is called Formule, and Formule is basically an online form builder. And they say it takes the donkey work out of form making because it's hard to like put all the codes in and everything that you would need if you were generating a form all on your own. And so by getting this website and doing this, you can create a form fast, easily, and without any hassle. And as a teacher, you need something that's easy to get done. You're going to have a pretty busy schedule, and so a form may not seem like that big of a deal, but if it's so easy to make and things like that, then it would be something that you could do. And it's free to use, but there are paid programs that you can use with Formule.
Okay.
Basically, the free one is like you get I don't know, like 10. I think, yeah, it's 10 free forms. But the other ones have more forms or unlimited amounts, and then the amount of megabyte storage that you can save on the Formula website is goes up as well. And basically, just to create a form, all you have to do is just drag and drop certain things into to the builder. You go to forms, then go to create forms, and you drag these new fields to the work area, and they can be single text fields, they can be text areas, name, date. They can even be like a rating sort of survey option with like stars and things like that. And I think that would be really good to use in the classroom as well. And then you can save the form and select to view the form in the task manager and acquire the web address so that anyone who has that web address can view the form and can do it online over the internet.
Oh, awesome. So, like, could you use this, say, on the first day of school when you have to send home parent information instead of, the parents sending back paperwork after paper after paper? Would they be able to use that too?
Yeah, that would be good. I think that would be really good for them to use. Yeah. Is that what you were thinking? Have the parents use?
Yeah, I know, like, on the first day of school, they would send home a massive amount of paperwork. We would always joke, like, oh, it's the parents' homework week, and then after that, the kids have homework. And I feel like it would just, it would save the trees. It would just take out a lot of the unnecessary papers that you really don't have to print out to answer one question.
Yeah,
I feel like it would
yeah,
be better for the schools too, for like organization.
yeah, that's really good. And I also think that they can use this formula to rate lessons. Like students could do that. Maybe they could go to the computer and have them, if the teacher was not sure if a lesson really fit well or if they really understood it, they could say, they could have numerous questions like, I understood the lesson was really fun, or I didn't think the lesson was really fun. And then they could rate those statements on like a 1 or a 5-star if they agreed or disagreed with it. And going back to what you said about the first day, not only the parents could use this tool, but the students could use it. They could go online, and they could be like a fun activity they get to do on the first day of school to introduce technology. Or the teacher could print them off, and they could just write down, common interests that they have, and it could be a way for the teachers to get to know their students.
That would be awesome. Yeah, I know. Like at my placement, we have iPads, but we don't really use computers. But the students could definitely like build forms or something like that. And then also, like on the first day, or they send home a lot of surveys. The schools do, and then there's one person who has to sit there and take all the information from the survey. I feel like that would take out a lot of that time.
Yeah, yeah. My placement teacher actually passes out surveys and questionnaires a lot, and it's normally dealing with like the books they're reading, because she's a big reader and she likes to know what they're reading and if they are enjoying what they read. But the students don't really take them very seriously. They don't do a whole lot of them. There's a few that really love doing it and conversing back with the teacher about their books, but a lot of them don't do them because they don't have to. And I think if with this formula, if they could get on the computer or get on an iPad and do a form about, oh yeah, this is the book that I'm reading, this is the part that I'm at, and I give it 5 stars because, and they can sort of talk about the reasons why they like their book. I think they would be more willing to do it if it was on a computer than versus the pen and paper thing that they have in my placement classroom.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be really cool.
Yeah. So do you have another tool that you were going to talk about?
Yeah. The third one is TouchCast. So that
Okay.
is really like a video. It's kind of like YouTube. It's a very video based, but it's much more based on like learning. And also the videos, when you create, like students or teachers can create their own videos. So what it would be is like you would be over here talking, and then over here is something interactive. So there's like interactive whiteboards. They have all kinds of stuff that you can include into that. You can bring up web pages, or you can bring up like Twitter, and then while you're talking, you can control everything to the left or right of you, and like move everything around, and it just makes for a really interactive video. They do have an education part of it. So the education part, the students and teachers can go in. They can watch. It says they can, use broadcasting tools to present information, is what it says on the website. So the students can actually build their own projects. Like if they did a research project on an animal, instead of just writing a paper about it or creating a PowerPoint, they could make a video, and it'd be very interactive and more fun to watch.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. I think, and also, you said students can watch educational videos, right? So they could find these educational videos. Teachers could find educational videos on the website and then project them on the board, and they could do interactive things on a smart board with the actual the educational videos that are on there already.
Yeah. So like they could project you can project anything up onto the smart board, so the videos can be projected up there, and then the students can all watch them together rather
Okay.
than sit down and watch them by themselves. So.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea for teachers to do that, because videos need to be more engaging. I think just simply hitting the play button on a video doesn't really get students wanting to watch unless it's something that they really want to see. So if they're doing something like an educational video, I don't think they'll really want to watch that much. So if they are able to go up to the screen and play around with it and do things with educational videos, I think they would really enjoy that.
Yeah, definitely. And I know, like at my placement, I'm with a lot of younger kids, so they move a lot. They love to run around. They love to get up out of their seats and dance around. So if they had to do something of like a research project kind of base, not huge, but like they could use the iPads that they have, and they could actually record themselves, talking about their subject, and then they could do the part on the side that's all interactive, like throughout the video. And I feel like it would just be something that really keeps students entertained and interested into what they're learning. rather than just pen and paper and staring at a book all day.
Yeah, my placement teacher doesn't use a whole lot of technology. She does trying to incorporate it a little bit. I don't know if her smartboard is working that well or not, but I think I think if she pulled up these videos, she was just saying, and I'm going to talk a little bit about it later, that she's having a hard time getting them to pay attention to videos and not why, and so she doesn't hardly ever use them that much because when she puts them on, they either sleep or they go and are drawing or doing something else. So I think when you're using this tool that you're talking about, they would actually be able to feel like they were a part of the video and get more engaged with the video and pay attention better with it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So are you all done? You good?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So the last one that I have is Zaption, and it really goes well with the touch. Was it TouchCast that you just did?
Yeah.
With the TouchCast that you were just talking about, because it too is dealing with videos and things like that, but they look more at the videos as sort of tours that that students can go on. And so basically you can go to the gallery and you can find already pre-made Zaption videos, but a lot of times those videos don't necessarily fit the lessons that you might be teaching, so it's probably best for you to create your own. And you can create your own by going to create new tours and finding a video. So you can use their search engine on YouTube and find a video about subtraction with regrouping, and then trim down the video to the most important parts. So if the video is like 20 minutes long, you might want to trim it down to maybe 5 minutes or 6 minutes, or maybe trim it down to each part has a question. That way, when the students are watching the video, you're ensuring that they're watching it because they have a question afterwards. Then all you have to do is just publish and share that video via a link, a Zaption group or email, and then the students can watch on the web by viewing the tour, by typing their name, signing in with their account, or I believe that if they just have the link, they may be able to come up with it. But I do think they have to have like an account unless they're in actually like a shared group. And so
Sorry.
the tour analytic page allows you to see the summary of the activity and the correct answers that each student proposed or gave. So you would be able to sort of formatively assess what students were watching the video and what students understand what the video is doing, and if they're watching it.
Okay, that's awesome. So could students, like, instead of the teacher always talking, could the students actually like listen to the video, and then that you said that it's interactive, so they get to like take a quiz on it while it's happening?
Yes. So that's basically what it's all about. Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. Yeah, that's really awesome.
Yeah, and so they can take those videos and they can take quizzes on them, and the teacher can make sure that they've got the right answer or the wrong answer and see which ones need extra help or aren't listening. One of the things that I thought was really good was that teachers they can pull up like a read aloud of a book that they're maybe reading in class, or I don't know, about ready to read, and that way there's all these YouTube videos, like of maybe Three Little Pigs if you're in a first grade class, or of Morse Goes to School if you're in second, or something like that, of other people reading these stories besides the teacher, you. And you could pull them up, and you could read the book, and then you could pull it up on YouTube and form a Zaption video where the students get to see someone else read the story, someone else's take on it, how they read it, and then you could ask questions virtually on the computer as they read along. So they're not only reading the book, they're not only seeing someone else read the book, and they're not only being asked questions online, but they're also watching a video of it. And so it's all these different aspects of learning being involved in just this one thing. And I think that would really help them learn.
Okay, that's really cool. I know, like, in my placement, I mean, the kids love videos. I think they're so much fun. So I feel like having a video up on the smartboard or something that they can watch and then interact with would be really great. And it would definitely be something different rather than them just, like, sitting there. And if they watch the videos, they sometimes, when they're younger, they do get bored very quickly. So if they had something that was keeping them on track with the video, they wouldn't get far behind either.
Yeah, and I think my placement teacher, it's funny that you say that. She actually doesn't think that they like videos, but they like videos because they think it's a time they can sleep or they can do whatever they want, and so she has a hard time engaging them to watch them.
Mhm.
And so with this activity and this tool, if it's taken for a grade, or if it's at least, if it's not even taken for a grade, she would at least be able to know if the students are understanding or listening to the video and which ones aren't, by having those questions embedded in the video itself. And I think
Cool.
that would help her a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yep.
All right, so the last one I wanted to talk about was like the QR droid.
Oh,
So
okay.
what it is students can go in and actually, or teachers can go in and actually build QR codes. So what that is when you use like the iPhone and you can scan it and everything, like the QR code actually comes up. And so like you scan the QR code and then a link comes up. But this one's actually really interesting because it doesn't just have to be a link. It can be a link. It can be a piece of like text that'll pop up on the screen, a phone number. You can actually send a text message with it. You can access an email. Like you can send an email. You can get someone's contact information. You can put up calendar events, and then you can also use a geolocation, which is like a geotag.
Oh,
So it's really interesting because all you do, like, you can go in and say you wanted to like create an assessment. So you go on to like you can do one of the how you were talking about the formula.
mm-hmm.
You can make an assessment form and then link that to it, and then the students can access that using the QR code. So they would just scan it with an iPhone or an iPad, and then it would pop right up on the screen.
Oh, that's a good
So
way to combine both tools. That's great. Yeah.
yeah, so it'd be like it's just something that's really interesting. It makes it easier to access things too,
Yeah.
rather than having to type in, if you have to type in like a web URL, it's pretty common for people to miss a letter or two and then they can't figure out where they did. So it just makes it a lot faster.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. And did you said that they could like have a text message or something like that as
Yeah.
well?
So what that does is like, say I wanted to send you a text message, or like I wanted to send anyone a text message, I would just make the QR code, put in my phone number at the top, and then what I wanted to text. And then if you took your phone and scanned it, my phone would send you that message.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like that. And I think, and it would be a great way to sort of use it as an assessment tool too. You know, if you're reading a story or if you're doing a math problem or something on the board, you could have a PowerPoint slide or a smartboard activity at at the front of the board, and then after all that's done, you could present a QR code to on the board or around the room, have them go to different stations, and they could scan that QR code and maybe have a question or a Word doc or a Google Doc or something come up, and they could fill it out and turn it in, or they could submit the quiz, and you could see if they were really understanding the material that they were being presented with that day.
Yeah, definitely. And also, I thought about, you can use it on homework help because, especially with Common Core, homework, especially math, is really hard these days. So the kids could have their whole homework sheet, and then in the bottom corner, there could be a QR code. And if they're having trouble understanding what to do, or they don't really know, like, parents don't really know how to do Common Core math either. So the parents could go on and scan that, and it could link you to like a text message that gives you information on, like, gives you help information, or an email, or like a website or a video that just has homework help. So it would just be like a faster way, instead of parents having to like look something up on the internet and possibly get it wrong, or the students, getting really frustrated with themselves for not being able to answer. It would make everything move a lot smoother.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea too. And I know in my placement teacher, she doesn't use a lot of QR codes or anything like that. Um, she doesn't use a lot of technology. I know I've said that before, but she doesn't use a whole lot of it. But I have seen when I was substituting them actually use station QR codes, and I actually saw the other day the librarian had them come out, and she had QR codes actually pasted next to alongside like a wall, so they're having like a gallery walk around the library, and she had these QR codes on the windows of the library, and the kids would come out with their iPad and they would scan each one of the QR codes that were next to a certain picture. And I wasn't sure exactly what happened after they did that, but I immediately thought, oh, that's really cool that they're allowing them to not only have library time and check out books, but they're using technology and they're getting them out of their seat and they're going in the hallway and sort of participating and engaging at a whole new level.
Yeah, that's awesome. The kids in my placement, they actually have iPads. The each grade has a whole iPad cart, but you can check out the whole cart. So they use them probably twice a day, in like in groups. So what they could do is, kind of like what you said, if like during guided reading time, if a student, they read the book and then they could go scan a QR code and that could bring up like a quiz or something that they could do on it and just like get them, like you kind of said, get them out of their seats and keep everybody moving and just keep everything more interesting.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's really good.
Great, awesome. I think that everything we talked about today is really cool. It's definitely stuff that I would love to use in my classroom and plan around.
Hmm. Yeah, I think me too. I think all five of those tools are great tools that we could use, and I think we would use in the classroom a lot. So I think we did a good job.
All right, awesome. Great job.
All right, thanks. Bye.